Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alex Radford. I'm an English solicitor and Spanish lawyer with My Law in Spain. And welcome to another webinar today. We are going to be talking to Paul, who is a transport expert. And he helps people move their items and luggage and furniture from all over the world to Spain and back, sometimes to the country where they came from. Good afternoon, Paul.
Good afternoon, Alex. Lovely to see you again.
Great to see you too, Paul. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's a bit warm here today, isn't it, for October?
Yeah, it is indeed, Paul. And where are you based, Paul?
I'm in Palomares, which is those people that know Oaxaca in Almeria province.
Okay, cool. And how long have you been there then, Paul?
I've actually been in Spain for nearly 10 years. I started my 10th year now. We've actually been here based as a company in this particular large warehouse for the last 4 years.
Okay, excellent. And what kind of services does your company offer?
Okay, well, we're an international removal company. We specialise in moving people between the UK and Spain and back again. We also cover France and Ireland and all of Europe. We can do local moves within Spain. We're fully legal here in Spain. We can move people from one part of Spain to another, or from one European country to another. And we've got storage facilities. We are very good at what we do in the way of packing and looking after antiques and all sorts of things.
Excellent. So you hit on a very important word there for me, which is legal. So I'm only talking to a legal, legitimate company here.
Well, the same as anything, and I think it's the same in any expat community worldwide. There's always people that try and push the envelope a little bit, and they're on the borderline. But no, we are fully legal in every respect. We are a UK limited company, Indalo Transport Limited, and then we have a separate company here, which is Indalo Transport Removals SL. So we're one legal foot in each camp, if you like.
That sounds good. That sounds good. And how long has Indalo been involved in removals?
We've been doing international removals since 2012.
Okay, excellent. And what's the strangest thing you've moved?
Oh wow! A stuffed giraffe.
A stuffed giraffe. Wow.
Stuffed giraffe. That was interesting. Making the boxes to go up the neck. So some interesting things we've moved. We've moved a carousel horse, believe it or not. One of the merry-go-round carousel horses.
Yeah.
That's now probably 130 years old. It's down in Marbella at
Wow.
the moment, and it had its original horsehair on the tail and on the mane, and it had hide around the mouth and the lips. That was an interesting one. We also moved, if those people know their motorsports and things, a historical item which was I don't know if you're au fait with Bluebird, the landscape record.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so what this was a wooden model. It was, I don't know, maybe 3 feet long, but it was to scale. It had a plasticine pilot in the cockpit, but it was the model that was made for the wind tunnel testing in 1935. So it is an exact replica, an exact model of the original Bluebird, 1935. In fact, you could say that Bluebird is a full-size replica of this model.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
We shipped that one to New York from here in Oaxaca.
Wow, that's amazing. From Oaxaca to New York. Okay.
Yep.
So, those are the strangest and different items that you use. What items do people typically move though, Paul?
The kitchen sink. Everybody moves a Christmas tree. Everybody moves their ironing board as well. And then from those two, everything else you could possibly think of. We do get some strange requests. Is it worth moving? Wait for this garden furniture to Spain. You can buy garden furniture in Spain, and Amazon delivers here. But typically, people take the whole house contents.
Okay. And what about, say, animals and wine cellars?
We don't mind going in wine cellars. We don't move them though.
Right.
There are specialist people to do that. If we're doing international moves to the UK and back, we cannot transport animals. We cannot transport wine. We can't take food, and we cannot take plants.
Okay. All right. And what and Paul, the key question everyone's going to ask is, what is the average cost of, say, moving a house from the UK or Ireland to Spain?
Do you know, Alex? I mean, I've met you at the A Place in the Sun exhibitions through the UK, and that's a question that's asked of us all the time. Everybody comes up to us. How much would it cost for, say, a 3-bedroom house? I can't answer that simply because everybody is different. Everybody's house is different. Everybody's circumstances are different. And so therefore, every removal is different. It's really, really almost impossible to give an open-ended question. What we do is we survey every single move. We make that a policy. We would either send somebody to the house, or we would do a video survey similar to this, where people would show us around by way of a simple WhatsApp call. So we can have a look. We can get a good feel of what people are looking to move. It's also really, really useful because then we can see if there's any specialist packing that's needed. We were talking about strange items. Very often we'll come across something which is a family heirloom, and we may have to look after that in a specific way using certain materials.
Yeah.
So, it's difficult to answer your question.
Yeah, I gather that, so, but the, good news is you will survey the house, and presumably, when we moved back to Spain, we moved from Exeter to back to Malaga province in 2003, and yeah, we had a few cart boot sales beforehand, made a bit of cash, and then we got someone to come in, pack the house up, and then it came out to Spain. And then we helped them unload it into our new house here, and
much the way we would do it, Alex. It really is the way we would do it. We can supply boxes and people can pack their own belongings, or we can offer them a packing service as well. We don't like people helping us unload at the other end because you're a lawyer, so you would know what the problems there can be. People aren't insured on the back of our truck.
Yeah. No, we did help. We just helped because we helped them because we wanted our stuff in the house quicker.
I won't turn it down, believe me.
Yeah, I thought so. And then the process, Paul, so let's just say you pick up, say, on the 1st of October. When would those items typically arrive in Spain?
Well, it used to be a case that you could pick up and just drive across the channel. Well, not drive across the channel, but drive down to Spain and deliver. That's not the case anymore. There is a customs process to go through. So we have to have a full inventory of what's to be moved, which we actually collate the inventory when we collect. We need the customer's input to that. We need to know what's in any boxes that they've packed. So things need to be labelled. And that inventory forms the basis of our customs process, which includes a tax declaration and everything else. Typically, if you were to ask me how much notice would I need to arrange a removal, 3 weeks is 3 months would be great. 3 weeks is if we're lucky, and then we're looking at getting the delivery probably another 3 weeks later.
Okay, so basically, if I contacted you today, said, "Look, Paul, I'm completing on my house purchase in 3 weeks' time,"
Yeah,
you could handle that. You'd come around, survey, give me a quote,
absolutely.
or have a video survey. You give me a quote, I accept your quote. Do you ask for money up front?
We ask for a booking deposit to start off with, which is usually about £500. We do ask for, this is an important point you've raised there, we do ask for full payment before we collect. Now, there is a reason for that. It's not because we're greedy or we're going to run off to Rio or anything like that. It's our insurers insist on the removal being paid for at the point of when they are going to be insuring the goods.
Okay, so typically, Paul, you need, so Indalo needs 3 weeks notice for a collection,
Yeah.
and then it will be, the items will be delivered more or less kind of 3 weeks later.
Yeah. In a perfect world. Sometimes it can be a lot quicker, Alex. I will say that. Sometimes, unfortunately, it can be longer.
Yeah, no, that's useful because we act for clients buying property all over Spain, and actually when they're dealing with selling a house, moving over here, there's a lot involved. There's a lot of tick boxes. It's actually quite stressful. It's stressful enough selling a house, But yeah, selling house, moving country, and moving furniture, dealing with lawyers in the UK, dealing with lawyers in Spain. There's a lot. There's a lot for people to do. Yeah.
There is. I mean, we have this strap line that we try and take the stress out of removals. And it's interesting the point you raised there about completions. I mean, in the UK, you're looking at exchange of contracts and then usually completing within 2 to 3 weeks after that. So our timescales usually tie in with that, and it also seems to be the same way in Spain. So if we can align everybody in the chain and talk to lawyers and agents and everybody else, and make sure that people go to notary fully aware of the processes involved, then the system will work.
Yeah, absolutely. That's interesting. And Paul, do you have storage facilities? So if I was leaving my house, I had to complete the sale of my house, and you weren't able to bring it over, say for a couple of weeks' time from somewhere in the UK, would you be able to put that in storage? Or if I
Yeah,
wasn't,
we got storage facilities in Winchester and Gosport. In southern England, we got storage facilities in Newcastle. In Ireland, we've got Dublin, Belfast, and Cork. And then we got this huge warehouse in Almeria in Spain. If we were moving people into Spain, we've got more room here than anywhere else. And our trucks arrive here. If they needed storage facilities here in Spain, it would come here, and then we would distribute as and when it's needed.
okay. And Paul, you mentioned, before Brexit, the Brits could actually, just bring them, travel out, move out without any problems. Now you're saying they've got to prepare an inventory, a list of all the items that they're going to be bringing over, and you'll help them prepare that. Do they have to pay any import tax on their own goods?
We are going down the legal road now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yes, you do. I mean, basically, what happens is, and I'm sure you're aware of this, is that when anything crosses a border, there's a tax man involved, chargeable event, and all that sort of thing. If you're moving your goods from the UK to Spain, you're moving from the UK to the EU. You're doing an export. You're doing an import. Even though, and this is a misunderstanding on many people's behalf, even though they are second-hand goods, if you like, pre-owned, more than 6 months old, there is still a value to those goods. Okay, so there is still a tax to be paid. Now, the tax is coming into Spain is 21% of the declared value, which is Spanish VAT, Spanish IVA. That declared value is key. I mean, there is a value to everybody's removal, and we make no secret of the fact that everything is fully insured. So there's an insurable value. Okay, so the insurable value is the value of replacement, if you like.
Yeah.
The declared value, the declaration that we make on the client's behalf to the Spanish tax authorities, the declared value is the value of the goods at that particular time. So as far as we're concerned, they are secondhand goods. It's almost as if it's been bought at a car boot sale. And basically that declaration takes the value right down. So the amount of tax payable is actually quite minimal.
Right.
It really is quite minimal. People do think that because it's personal goods, there is no tax payable. It's far from the truth. There is tax to pay.
Okay.
We've had instances where people have brought their own goods over in a van and been stopped at the ports, been stopped at the border. And the first thing that the border force will do is say, okay, there's tax to be paid. We're not going to work it out. It's 500 euros. Here's your bill.
Right.
It needs to be paid soon. And we've had one case come through here in Mahaka where the guys just ignored it, and now, well, you don't upset the Spanish tax man. How do I sort this out? He's saying. We've just passed him on to a legal accountant.
Yeah, no, exactly. You don't want to upset the Spanish tax office when you're kind of setting up here in Spain for your new life here. So, okay, that's interesting. So really, you've got the insurable value. So if any items got broken or destroyed or damaged en route,
Yeah.
the insurance would kick in and replacement goods will be provided. And then you've got the declared value, which is presumably a lot lower than the insurable value, because what we're talking about is secondhand goods. What value does that have? And if you bring in garden furniture from the UK to Spain, You know, they're probably underutilized in the UK.
Yeah, yeah, but absolutely.
Yeah,
But the key thing here, Alex, is that declaration has to be made. You know, it's a legal requirement. And to be fair, I mean the actual tax bills that we're seeing, and what happens is we make that declaration on the border.
yeah.
Okay, our trucks pull in at Irun. We make our declarations. We clear customs, and away we go. So when the bill comes through, we pay that, and then we get it back off the client.
So, and Paul, what kind of route do you tend to take? Do you do Dover to Calais and come through France, or do you do Dover to Santander?
More often than not, we actually go New Haven down to Dieppe, and then we drive through France, and
Okay.
then cross the border at Irun, down to Zaragoza, Valencia, and then down here into Almeria, dropping off on the way if necessary.
And where do you actually pay the taxes then when you arrive? Is that in Irun when you come into Spain? So
Yeah,
they've got
basically the
they've got
driver
a
will
tax
pull
centre
in,
there.
take a ticket, go to the our customs agent there. They will sort everything out usually in minutes, and then we get an email through to say this is the amount, and we pay that straight away.
And you can't help having a trusted and experienced customs agent helping you out with that Spanish bureaucracy when you first
Absolutely.
arrive. I mean, it's priceless, eh?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, these are relationships we've built since, well, really since COVID.
Yeah.
Because when we were in lockdown here in Spain, we were trying to second guess what the outcome of Brexit was going to be, and luckily enough, we got it about right. And we have a lot of relationships with agents, with the Spanish tax office itself, and we were able to move on day one.
Well, Paul, maybe you should consider a career in politics because not many politicians in the UK got it right, I must say.
Don't wish that on me.
Yeah. And presumably, you know, if you're moving friends from clients from Ireland to Spain, EU to EU, there's no taxes at all there, but you've still got to declare, you still have an insurable value and you still declare what's coming in.
There is no need to make a declaration coming from Ireland.
Right.
So if we're moving people from even from Northern Ireland, if we come, they enjoy the same benefits as Ireland. So we can bring them directly in. We don't need to make customs declarations. We can just bring them down. We would travel down to Rosslare, onto the ferry, into Bilbao, and away you go, almost like the old days.
Okay.
So with no declarations to make, we would for our own purposes do the inventory side of things, because then we've got something that we can show our insurers should there be a problem.
Yeah. So basically, whether you're coming from Spain, but if you go from Spain to the UK and vice versa, there's going to be tax payable. And then from Ireland, EU country to EU country, no tax is payable, which is good. Okay, yeah. Paul. I mean, there's a lot of competition out there on the removal side. Why should I choose Indalo? What makes you guys stand out?
Service for one. We do offer a good service. We're always in contact with our clients. There's always an audit trail of emails. We note every phone call. We answer every phone call. We answer every email. Our service is very, very good, and it's a real ethos of the company as well. We're never going to be the cheapest. We never set out to be the cheapest. Make no bones about that. It is all service based and service driven. We make sure that we offer the very best packing materials. We'll pack for people if need be. We always give good advice. Again, you as a lawyer, you know how valuable good advice is. You can't really put a price on it. We spoke just a moment ago about upsetting the Spanish taxman. Those sorts of things are invaluable when it gets down to doing it. Using our relationships with all the right authorities, it's very, very transparent, and that's why I would, if I wasn't part of Indalo Transport, I think I would use us.
That's good. That's good. Any other comments to add, Paul?
No, not particularly. I mean, we are seeing since Brexit, and maybe you are too. We're seeing the larger removals coming across, and it seems to me that we're not moving so many people with just buying apartments. It seems to be bigger villas, that sort of thing. You know, we've ended up getting bigger trucks.
Right.
We've now got a fleet of Arctic trailers to go with the Pantechnicons and everything else. But no, things seem to be going well.
And Paul, are you seeing more people come to Spain or more people go back?
At the moment, I'm seeing more people coming to Spain,
Right.
which
Yeah.
I think is good for you, good for us. If you'd have asked me this same question last year and the year before, it would have been more people going back.
Right.
But I think it was the people that were going back were people that were or removals going back were people that were selling up holiday homes, that sort of thing. I think what we're seeing now is some more serious movers. We are also seeing a lot more French, Belgian, and Dutch customers moving within the EU. So maybe that's taking up the space of the Brits.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Well, Paul, thank you ever so much for that enlightening conversation. So we'll place your contact details on this YouTube video.
Thank you.
People can contact you directly. And yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Great to see you again, Alex.
Likewise, likewise.
Okay, bye now.